Thank you, Jane. Good evening and welcome to Look North. Our top story tonight. A rising number of people in Leeds ask for help to pay their gas and electricity bills.
Right now this is more expensive than food. I have to sacrifice. It's real hard.
We'll speak to a charity who offers help and advice. Also tonight, a woman from West Yorkshire appeals for a stem cell donor to save her life. Police take action as criminal gangs are targeting new estates, stealing boilers from homes that are still being built. And taking the plunge, the group of swimmers braving the great outdoors every day this month for charity.
And these little daffodils in York providing some brightness out there today, but it has been rather cloudy and there's a lot of cloud in the forecast for the weekend too. Join me later in the programme for a look at that and a little look into next week too.
Good evening and thank you for joining us this Friday night. An increasing number of people in Leeds have been asking for help to pay for their gas and electricity. The Leeds Food Aid Network says more than 15,000 emergency fuel vouchers were accessed last year by people needing to top up their prepayment meters. That's up from around 13,000 the year before. Charities and support services say they're noticing an increase in working families struggling to pay for energy. Here's our social affairs correspondent, Emma Gillespie.
Another cold January day in Leeds. The cost of keeping homes warm at this time of year can be a struggle. Nigel lives in a two-bedroom house with his 2 sons and young daughter and says keeping the house heated is a priority.
I have kids, so I have to, especially with my daughter, you know. I have to keep the house warm. I, as a father, have to provide, so it's life. Well, this is my meter here. One half is for electricity, next one is gas. So I have 3,582 left for electricity, and for the gas, I only have around 472, which is about 1 day usage.
Nigel works as a security guard and a football steward. He is a single dad after his wife died. The prepayment meter for his gas and electricity can take up a lot of his wages.
We're going to do you a fuel voucher today.
Okay.
And then this is going to come through on your phone.
More than 15,000 emergency fuel vouchers have been handed out in Leeds by charities and support services over the past year to make sure families can top up their meters.
If it wasn't for those vouchers, I don't know what would have happened, because there was some times when I was really struggling. I don't know where I might have been, so I am very thankful.
We're seeing the cost of living impact people deeply over the last 3 years in particular. And then on top of that, you're kind of seeing winter pressures kicking in. So the pressure of all the cold snap that we had in January. On top of that, we've had Christmas, so people trying to put money aside to pay for that. And then you've got other things going on. So people will get paid before Christmas, but that means that they have a 5-week waiting period before they get paid at the end of January, and that's been really significant for quite a lot of people. Lots of people getting in touch regarding needing gas and electricity support.
Another Leeds charity seeing increasing demand is the Green Doctors. The staff support around 5,000 people in Yorkshire each year, carrying out home visits to give advice on energy bills.
The demographics of those people has really broadened. So you're getting people from a wide spectrum of society. Fuel poverty affects everybody. You've got 6.5 million people in fuel poverty in this country. But you know, people in work, people with quite good positions are finding it hard to meet their energy costs.
For Nigel, keeping his family's home warm means some difficult choices.
I make sure this is top up rather than my fridge is top up. So you know, yeah. Right now this is more expensive than food. I have to sacrifice. It's real hard. Especially as a single parent too, yeah, it's really hard. It's part of life, you know. Can't give up, you know. You just have to keep fighting. You just have to keep fighting, you know. It's imperative. Can't give up.
Well, earlier I spoke to Fiona McCulloch from Citizens Advice in York. I started by asking her what help was available for people struggling to pay their energy bills.
There's a lot of help, and Citizens Advice should always be your first port of call. We give you a raft of help, from giving you a fuel voucher if you're eligible, to helping you manage your bills, to talking to your fuel supplier for you.
So there are some practical solutions out there.
Depending on your circumstances, we can write off debts for you. And our debt team have actually written off a little under £3 million worth of debts for people in York just in this last year. So we're successful at doing that, but we can also talk to your suppliers for you, maybe get you onto a more affordable repayment plan. We can talk to you about maybe switching to a cheaper provider if that's suitable. We can give you emergency help if you need it as well. So if you're in really great need, we can give you a fuel voucher. And people shouldn't feel embarrassed for asking about that. Of issuing a fuel voucher has gone up 50% year on year, and the average fuel voucher we issue is for £128. So that can really be a lifeline for people who are struggling. Just come and talk to us. Just the act of talking to us will make you feel better. We're completely non-judgmental. We've pretty much seen it all before. We're seeing more and more people who are working but still living in poverty and unable to afford food and fuel. So come and see us and we will be able to help you.
Fiona, thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you.
Next tonight, a young fashion designer who needs weekly blood transfusions to stay alive says a stem cell donor coming forward is her only hope. 24-year-old Abby Inwood from Gomersall in Kirklees has a rare condition called aplastic anemia, which means her body can't produce new blood cells. She's been told a stem cell transplant is her final treatment option. Nicola Rees reports.
You just don't believe you're ever going to be told and be diagnosed with a life-threatening serious blood disorder. It didn't even register in my brain at the beginning.
That's your 50.
Abby Inwood has a rare condition called aplastic anemia. She needs 20 tablets a day and blood transfusions every week to stay alive.
My bone marrow doesn't create blood naturally on its own. In my case, my immune system attacks itself and it causes me breathlessness. It's just put a complete hold on my life and I don't even know what the future looks like anymore. That was deciding the top stitching.
Abby was starting a promising career in fashion design when she was diagnosed in 2023. But her condition means she can't now work and rarely leaves her home in Gomersall. She urgently needs a stem cell donor to come forward.
Abby had a treatment called ATG and she's had a failure to respond to that. So having a stem cell transplant is a last chance of hope for survival. You just have to take Abby's lead. She's very positive. You have no choice.
Despite a global search of donor registers, a match for Abby hasn't been found and the family are feeling desperate.
It's frightening and it's scary because I'm holding on to something that doesn't exist yet. And without that, then I don't know what that means for me. It means that I probably won't be here, so I really need to find my match.
Oh, you've got some more over here as well.
The family's being supported by the Anthony Nolan charity. They've launched an appeal to find more stem cell donors.
If someone joining the register finds out they are a match for Abby or someone else, they would be asked to donate and would involve a relatively straightforward process where they would donate blood. We would filter out the stem cells and those stem cells would be taken and given to the patient to give them a potential chance of life.
We've got to believe and we've got to move forward and believe that we can find a match and give Abby the hope she needs.
Words can't even describe how it made me feel because it would give me the opportunity to live the way I used to before with no fear of the future, I guess.
We'll take them. I'll take them.
Abby believes her stem cell match is out there, but she hopes to help others too by encouraging more people to sign up as potential donors. Nicola Rees, BBC Look North, Gomersall.
Yes, let's hope a match is found for Abby soon. Now, an oak tree in Otley that was due to be felled has survived another day after a standoff between protesters and contractors for Leeds City Council. The council says the tree needs to come down to facilitate bridge repairs, but it's causing controversy and division in the town, as our reporter Cathy Killick now reports.
Early this morning, and a gang of contractors are on hand ready to fell 2 trees by the riverside in Otley. But environmental campaigners have other ideas. One protester has taken to the branches, and a small encampment at the foot of the tree has taken root. They're all staying put.
We've had 4,000 people supporting the petition. There's lots of money being raised as a crowdfunder to help with legal fees if there's any need for it. The people of Otley deserve better. There's other ways of doing it, and they won't listen. It's wrong.
The problem is this old footpath attached in the 1950s to the 800-year-old bridge. It needs replacing, and building a temporary footbridge downriver while the work takes place requires the felling of the trees. The council could allow pedestrians onto the old bridge instead, but that would mean closing a lane on the bridge and 3-way traffic lights, leading to long delays for motorists. It's proving a divisive dilemma.
I love nature, I love trees, and it's sad, but it's got to go for the safety of the people. If this bridge collapses, where are we?
4 or 5 people sat there in tents, stopping the whole works. Why don't they go to Borneo or somewhere where they're chopping trees down in the thousands every day? And the monkeys have nowhere to live, or on U-tangs, dying out because they've got no... Why don't they go there instead of one oak tree?
You've got to stand back, look at the big picture and say, yeah, it's a nice tree, but time for it to go.
The contractors tried to move in, but only managed to reconfigure some fencing. Meanwhile, some passers-by took the protesters to task, and there were some heated and bad-tempered exchanges. After a while, representatives from Leeds City Council asked the contractors to leave, citing concerns for everyone's safety, but reiterating their continued intention to remove the trees.
This may seem a bit extreme, but these days we're seeing more often it's actually an active part of conservation. This tree lives one more day. It's as simple as that.
The contractors may have left for now, but the protesters aren't going anywhere. It's a classic standoff. Some cool heads will need to get together to find an acceptable compromise. Cathy Killick, BBC Look North, Otley.
Some more news from around the region now, and 3 teenagers who were killed in a car crash last week will be remembered by Leeds United fans this weekend. Kobe Jones from Flockton, pictured here on the far left with his family, died in the collision a week ago. Daniel Grace and Shay Doyle were also killed. A photograph of Daniel, who was an avid Leeds United fan, will be shown on the big screen at Ellen Road tomorrow. There'll be a minute-long round of applause in their memory. Strike action from bus drivers in Huddersfield will no longer go ahead. Confirmed by First Bus today, industrial action planned for Monday has been called off by the union Unite. Members will now vote on a pay offer. Now, a Scarborough seal who was found tangled in a fishing net has been saved. This grey seal pup was untangled by experts at the Sea Life Centre after it was reported by the public. Uninjured, it's now been safely returned to the sea. Lovely to hear. Oh, cute. Now there's been a rise in thefts of boilers in North Yorkshire. Police say criminal gangs are targeting new estates, breaking in overnight and stealing the boilers from empty homes that are still being built. They're then being sold on the black market. Nathan Turvey has been out with North Yorkshire Police to find out how they're dealing with a growing problem.
This is a week-long operation that we're working on.
These police officers are being briefed about Operation Thor, following a rise in criminal gangs targeting new build estates in North Yorkshire and stealing brand new high-value boilers.
Were they the ones that were hit last year?
The North Yorkshire Force says in one case earlier this month here in Knaresborough, more than 20 boilers were stolen from one building site, costing around £300,000. And this site on the outskirts of Knaresborough was targeted last year.
So we see criminals, organised crime groups travelling from other police areas coming to us, and they are really quite professional. So they'll ordinarily come and do a recce beforehand to see which properties they can target. They're trained, so they've probably got some plumbing expertise. They'll have a vehicle, so they can get them out really, really quite quickly.
This week, officers have been marking boilers in new homes with codes so they can be traced more easily. And on some of the sites, like this one, builders have also started putting trackers on new boilers with signs in property windows warning would-be thieves.
April last year we had 10 boilers pinched.
came in 7 o'clock in the morning. My labourer was opening up, gave me a call as I was just driving in. He noticed patio doors had been smashed through, front doors had been smashed in, and they just through the night taking 10 boilers, but causing a lot of damage while they were doing it. Obviously they'll smash through patio doors, so I think there was 8 patio doors smashed through, along with the front doors. Then obviously they're taking the boilers out to cause us water damage. It comes to a cost to us because then we have to get plumbers back in, electricians back in. Some of the kitchens got replaced.
According to figures from North Yorkshire Police, 68 incidents involving boiler theft have been recorded since 2023, with almost 70% of those from new build estates. And the force says each incident can involve multiple boilers being stolen. As part of the operation, police patrols have been increased along the A1 corridor, and officers are talking to local people to encourage them to report any suspicious activity or vehicle sightings to them.
There's a very healthy Facebook group already where people share advice about changes they've made to the house builders and so forth. So anything which expands on that, where we can share a bit of intelligence and information, would be really helpful.
Nathan Turvey, BBC Look North, Knaresborough.
Now we have a little bit of sport for you, and Britain's best divers are coming to South Yorkshire this weekend to take part in the first event of the season. The Aquatics GB Diving Winter Cup will take place over 3 days in Sheffield, and Olympic gold medalist Jack Law from Ripon is one of those taking part, along with Jordan Holden, the city's own Yasmin Harper. Sally Hurst has been at Ponds Forge for the first day of the competition.
Day one of the competition has ended here at Ponds Forge in Sheffield, but lots more to look forward to this weekend with some of GB's top divers in action. Of course, 2024 was a brilliant year for the diving squad, with 5 medals in total at the Olympic Games. Making his Olympic debut there, of course, was Jordan Holden. And Jordan, you've done pretty well today as well. Congratulations on your win here just now.
Thank you very much. It was almost a PB by 3 points. Almost a PB. So.
How does it feel to get your feet back in the water?
It feels nice to be getting the competitions going again. It's been a while, so obviously it's been since August, the last time I competed, which was in Paris 2024. But it feels wonderful to get back in the water again and actually do some competition.
This is where it all starts again, isn't it? The whole cycle begins again. You've had 6 months now to reflect. Are you still buzzing from Paris? This can't quite come back today, can it?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely still buzzing about Paris, but we've got to keep looking on and seeing what's in the future. So we keep on pushing, doing our best as we can. So that's all it is.
Well done on today, Jordan.
Thank you.
And Tom Owens, you're the head coach at Sheffield, and as I was saying, there is a bit of a buzz around Sheffield with lots of talent. This is where they can show what they're made of, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. Well, with such fantastic facilities like we have here at Ponds Forge, there's a long and illustrious diving history here and a real Olympic and World Championship heritage. So we've got a big, busy, bustling programme. We've got some great role models like Jordan and Yasmin, who obviously did so well at Paris last year. And people are looking up to that and people are striving to that.
And some real good, strong youth development as well. What is it that you put in place here at Sheffield to fuel the success of these young athletes?
Well, like I said, they've got some fantastic role models, but we've got such a strong culture. People understand that we work hard, we consistently work hard. So there's a real buzz around Sheffield, but it's not a singular effort, it's a group effort. There's a big team around us, and we're really set up for people to succeed.
And lots more to see as well this weekend. We've got the 10-metre platform tomorrow, one of the scariest events I always find, and one of the most exciting as well. And of course, North Yorkshire's Jack Law also in action tomorrow. Come down, tickets still available. Come and see some elite athletes right on your doorstep here in Sheffield.
Yes, they're always fantastic to watch, and I am sure they will do us proud. Now just take a look at these fabulous images behind me now. The hit musical Hamilton has come to Bradford. The multi-award winning show was created by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who starred in its first production on Broadway. It tells the story of Alexander Hamilton and how he went on to become a founding father of America. Abby Jayola went behind the scenes at the Alhambra Theatre to meet some of the cast.
Hamilton was a hit Broadway show, and this later filmed version has reached millions of viewers. Marley is the lead in the Bradford production.
Hamilton actually has 20,000 words throughout the show, and it averages about 150 per minute, which is the most of any musical theatre show. So it definitely has its challenges. It's been music types I've kind of grown up on and definitely grown to love and stuff, so it's so exciting to be able to do that on stage.
It's a fast-paced rap and R&B interpretation of America's road to independence. It's been critically acclaimed for casting black actors in the roles of historical white figures.
I hope that people come and see this show and feel inspired by the diversity they see on stage and the inclusivity that is shown in a show like this. And I hope that companies, production companies, can see that people will come and see a show regardless of who you cast. Just cast the best people, and it doesn't matter where they come from or anything like that, as long as the story is being told.
The cast say this is a show that they've always wanted to be part of. Ashley plays 2 principal roles. Originally from Leeds, this has given him the chance to perform close to home.
It's been really, really amazing. Just like the response from like friends and family, and being able to just say to all the people who like allowed me to feel like I could pursue a career like this, like come and see what it is you've allowed me to do.
For Billy, Hamilton is the show that inspired him to get into musicals.
Some people that I know that have come and seen the show and have been like, I hate musicals, but this one is different. There's something about this show that just entices everyone. I think it's because we're using our form of language in the show as something that's so relatable with rap music and with jazz music and hip hop and R&B. Like there's so many things that people can hear and recognise, which brings people in and allows it to be accessible for a wider audience.
The show runs until the 15th of March, but the cast hope its spirit will stay with the audience much longer. Abby Jayola, BBC Look North, Bradford.
Oh, looks wonderful. Now, wild swimming has grown in popularity over the last few years, but how about an outdoor dip every day in January? Now, in its 8th year, a group of hardy northerners have braved snow and ice for the past month to raise money for Crisis UK. And today is the final plunge. Amy Garcia went to join them.
Gaddings Dam in Todmorden. It's a popular spot with hikers, but this lot have got other ideas for when they reach the top.
The good thing is I've built up a sweat, so I'm ready to cool down.
It's where the January Daily Dip started 8 years ago, so a fitting place to end this month's challenge.
This is my 5th year doing it. I love swimming anyway, and being able to combine that and at the same time raise awareness and funds for Crisis, it's a double win, isn't it, really?
It's a real buzz, honestly. And you do get that thing where I just don't want to get in. And it's that mental thing as well of getting in and proving that you can do it to yourself.
For the past 30 days, these hardy dippers have posted pictures of themselves on social media, submerged in icy waters in all forms and weathers.
There's been some days when it's been so cold and windy, I've had to break the ice. And then sometimes when I've been working, it's fitting the dips in.
It's tough, you know, you don't want to go out in the cold, but we have the choice to do that, whereas homeless people don't, unfortunately. So that's what spurs us on, isn't it, on a daily basis.
And I hear some of you do it in your birthday suits.
Oh yeah.
But not today.
But it's a bit cold, but it was weird, isn't it?
Your bits will fall off. That won't be happening today before the watershed, I promise. The January Daily Dip has so far raised nearly £160,000 for Crisis UK since it began, and today is the final splash.
It's now or never. Since it's the last dip, it'd be rude not to join in, wouldn't it?
This is nuts. It's a tropical 1.1 degrees in this water. So a couple of minutes is more than enough.
I am tingling all over. I feel amazing. Well done, all of you. Well done. God, that were cold. There we can get out. Let's get warm now, shall we?
Oh, that looks like great fun. I'd do it for the bobble hat alone, and it's supposed to be
Great
really
fun.
Great
What piece were you watching there?
I like the idea of a tingle.
Rather than the nose. I'm glad Amy got sent on that. Were you asked? I wasn't.
I wasn't asked. No, I wasn't.
Absolutely not.
Member.
We did not volunteer either, did we?
Sorry, I got the giggles.
Not
there.
at the moment.
Oh dear. Have you done it before?
I have done it. I won't be repeating it. There you go. I clearly enjoyed it, didn't I? The weather this weekend.
On to the weather, yes.
Yes, on to the weather. It's not been a very nice day, has it? It's been really grey and cloudy and drizzly out there. This is a picture taken looking over the tops. She's still giggling away there. Looking misty and murky. In some places, I think it stayed like this all day. The visibility improved a little bit, but it did stay rather grey. Even along the coast, there was a lot of cloud, and we continue with a lot of cloud in the forecast through the next 24 hours, but a lot of quiet weather too, so a lot of dry weather to come. Get your pictures coming into the Weather Watchers page. We're on social media. You can send them on there as well, on X and on Instagram, keely.donovan. So yes, I think it will be a little bit brighter over the weekend compared with today, but there will be a lot of cloud around and a lot of dry weather too. And we've got high pressure out in the east, so any weather systems that try and make their way in from the Atlantic will tend to fizzle as they spread eastwards, as they bump up against that high pressure. So most of us will stay dry on Sunday. There is a weather front which might affect us on Tuesday, bringing the odd spot of rain, but generally next week there's a lot of dry and settled weather to come once again, with some sunshine on some of the days. Sunshine was in short supply today, lots of cloud on the satellite picture, and it's rather cloudy out there at the moment. That cloud's still thick enough for the odd spot or two of light rain or drizzle overnight. I think the cloud will lower in places again, so we'll have some poor visibility in places, some pockets of mist and fog, and it's going to be a cold night as well, with temperatures dropping low enough for a frost down to around 2 or 3 degrees. Let's have a quick look at those high water times then. At 6 o'clock in Scarborough and at 15 minutes past 6 in Filey. So once again, it's going to be a grey start to the day, perhaps the odd spot of drizzle early doors. But tomorrow, even though we keep a good deal of the cloud, something a little bit brighter, those skies a little bit less leaden as we head through tomorrow afternoon. We'll even get some sunshine across the Pennine chain, and temperatures a little bit higher perhaps than today's values, getting up to 6 or 7 degrees. 7 is 45 Fahrenheit, and it is about average for this time of year. The breeze mainly light, but it could well start to pick up a little bit as we head through the afternoon from the south. And I think on Sunday it will be a breezier day. So on Sunday we start the day once again with quite a lot of cloud. And I think western areas across the hills, parts of North Yorkshire will stay fairly cloudy through the day, but we might through the afternoon see some sunnier spells spreading in from the east on Sunday. Monday looks like a fine day. It should be dry and bright with some spells of sunshine. Cloudy over from the west on Tuesday, some patchy rain spreading eastwards, but then another sparkling blue day to come on Wednesday. Amanda.
Thank you very much, Keely. So better weather for a nice bracing walk, you think, rather than a cold dip?
Yeah, not bad over the weekend.
Yeah, I might
You can
get
get
out
out.
with the dog.
Maybe not a dip, but maybe a walk.
Not a dip, no, definitely not. Lovely, thank you very much, Keely. That's it from us. Do have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.